It started quietly. No press release. No public schedule. No manager's car in sight. Just two familiar faces, seen in the kind of moment that doesn't need words. A night wrapped in city lights. And a secret neither of them could quite hide anymore. It was close to midnight when Seoul began to wind down. The rush hour had faded, the streets were quieter, and the moonlight seemed to spill softly across the Han River. But for those who happened to be out that night, maybe driving home, maybe taking a walk, something caught their eyes. A tall figure. A gentle laugh. And a woman beside him whose smile could light up the dark. Lee Min-ho. Kim Go-eun. Together. At first no one believed it. After all, stars of their level don't just walk around Seoul without security, right? But the photos told another story. Blurry, yet intimate enough to stir the internet awake. They weren't at a fancy restaurant. They weren't surrounded by staff. They were just there. Side by side. Walking along the quiet street of Itaewon. One streetlight flickered above them as Min-ho gently held the brim of his cap lower, almost instinctively shielding her from curious eyes. Go-eun, wearing a simple hoodie and no makeup, was laughing at something he said. It wasn't the kind of laughter for cameras. It was the kind of laughter you only share with someone who knows you deeply. When the pictures surfaced hours later, fans didn't just react, they exploded. Is this real? Why are they together at this hour? Look at how he's looking at her. The comments flooded timelines across Korea, Japan, and beyond. Some fans were shocked, others were ecstatic. And a few had already seen it coming. Because those who followed them closely remember, their chemistry in The King, Eternal Monarch wasn't just good acting. It was magnetic. From the way he looked at her between takes, to how she once said in an interview that Min-ho made her feel safe on set. For fans, that word, safe, said everything. And now, seeing them together late at night, away from the spotlight. It was as if that chemistry had quietly stepped off the screen and into real life. But let's rewind for a moment. Why that night? Why now? Sources say both had finished major projects. Min-ho had just wrapped filming for a new drama, his schedule finally easing up after months of travel. Go-eun, too, had recently taken time off after a demanding shoot, choosing rest over red carpets. So maybe this wasn't a coincidence. Maybe it was the one night both had free, and they chose to spend it together. No cameras. No entourage. Just a walk beneath the Seoul night sky. Witnesses described the scene quietly. No one approached them. It was almost like an unspoken rule, to just watch, but not disturb. One person tweeted later. They looked peaceful. Like two people who'd waited all day just to be near each other again. That single line went viral. Because it captured something fans had always felt, that whatever is between them, it's not for show. Back online, discussion turned into detective work. Fans began zooming in on every detail of the photos. Her hoodie? Same one she wore during a vlog last month. His sneakers? Spotted during his off-duty airport look, the one fan said he only wears on personal days. And the restaurant behind them? A small Italian place known for staying open late. A quiet, hidden spot popular among Seoul locals for its privacy. Could it have been a simple dinner between friends? Maybe. But to fans, the way they looked at each other said otherwise. There's a moment in one of the clearer pictures. Go-eun is mid-laugh, her hand reaching slightly toward him as if to nudge him playfully. Min-ho's head is tilted down, smiling, his eyes soft. That's when the captions started trending. He looks at her like she's the only person in the world. Within hours, hashtags like hashtag Lee Min-ho Kim Go-eun and hashtag Midnight Date began trending across Korea and the Philippines. But as the news spread, both agencies stayed silent. No confirmation. No denial. Just silence. And in that silence, fans read everything they needed to. Because sometimes saying nothing says it all. The next day, Min-ho posted on Instagram. Not a selfie. Not a statement. Just a photo of the moon over the city skyline with the caption. Some nights don't need words. It was simple. But everyone knew. Go-eun, hours later, posted on her story. A cup of coffee on a balcony, city lights in the background, with a heart emoji. No tag. No message. Yet the timing spoke louder than any confirmation could. And perhaps that's what made fans emotional. Not the secrecy. Not even the date itself. But the quietness of it all. They weren't performing. They weren't trying to be seen. They were just two people, finding a moment of peace in a world that rarely gives them any. Think about it. For stars like Lee Min-ho and Kim Go-eun, every move is watched. Every smile is analyzed. Every glance becomes a headline. But on that night, away from the noise, they got to just be themselves. A man walking beside a woman he clearly respects. A woman laughing like she's finally at ease. And somehow, that felt more romantic than any drama scene they've ever filmed. Of course, the entertainment industry buzzed for days. Reporters tried to trace where they went afterward. Some claimed they ended the night at a nearby riverside cafe, staying until almost 1 a.m. Others said they left separately, perhaps to avoid attention. But to fans, it didn't matter how it ended. What mattered was that it happened. Because for years, both had danced around the idea. In interviews, in fan meets, even in subtle social media moments. Min-ho once said in a Q&A, "There are people who make you feel calm just by being near them." Fans had wondered who he meant. Now, it feels like they might finally have an answer. Kim Go-eun too once mentioned, "I value sincerity more than grand gestures. If someone remembers small things about me, that means everything." And fans pointed out how Min-ho often remembered the smallest details about her. From her favorite coffee flavor to the way she warms up before filming. It's the kind of quiet connection that doesn't need public declarations. It just exists. Steady. Real. Some fans even compared their midnight walk to a scene straight out of The King, Eternal Monarch. Two souls walking through parallel worlds, finding each other again when the world falls silent. It's poetic. It's cinematic. And yet, it's real. In the following days, fan edits flooded YouTube and TikTok, clips from their drama intercut with the leaked photos. Music swelled softly in the background as captions read, "From real to real. Maybe love was never just in the script." And while neither actor commented publicly, one thing became clear. Their connection continues to inspire. It's easy to forget that behind fame and flashing cameras, there are human hearts still searching for simple moments. Moments like walking home past midnight. Moments like laughing over nothing. Moments like not having to hide who makes you smile. And maybe, that's why this story resonated so deeply. Because it wasn't about scandal. It wasn't about breaking news. It was about love. Quiet, steady, and beautifully human. A week later, the headlines slowed. The noise faded. But the image of that